The sun was rising over the Cal Poly campus when 19-year-old Kristin Smart walked into the world for the last documented time. A college freshman, full of possibility, full of energy, and with her whole future ahead of her. It was May 25, 1996, the first weekend of Memorial Day. And Kristin had no way of knowing that this night would become one of the most haunting disappearances in American history. Before we continue, help the channel, subscribe and leave your like. That weekend had begun like any other on campus. The school year was winding down, students were restless, and the warm California air made every gathering feel alive. Kristin attended an off-campus party with friends, something normal for any college student. Witnesses remembered her smiling, animated, and full of life. But somewhere between that party and her dorm room, Kristin Smart vanished. A few students at the party recalled that Kristin seemed unusually intoxicated. Whether from alcohol or something else has never been conclusively determined. What is known is that 3 students walked her back toward her dorm shortly after 2 a.m. to eventually peeled off, leaving Kristin alone with one person, a fellow student named Paul Flores. Paul told authorities that he parted ways with her near his dorm. He said she walked off on her own, and he went inside. But from the moment investigators began reviewing evidence, his story never quite lined up with reality. Kristin never returned to her room. She never called her family. She never attended class again. And yet, for the first crucial days after her disappearance, campus police treated her absence as nothing more than a typical student skipping out, maybe traveling for the long weekend. Tact decision. Those lost days would become one of the biggest failures in the case. When Kristin's parents realized something was wrong, they pushed hard for answers. Their daughter was responsible, communicative, and close with them. She didn't simply vanish. Something had happened, something terrible. By the time authorities finally mobilized, evidence was already fading. Witnesses, memories blurred. And the one person who was with her last, Paul Flores, quickly lawyered up and refused to cooperate. Investigators searched the campus, dorms, surrounding fields, even nearby ravines. Cadaver dogs alerted near Paul's room, and again near a mattress that had reportedly been removed from his dorm shortly after Kristin disappeared. But without a body, California law limited what prosecutors could pursue. Suspicion grew, but evidence was painfully thin. Years passed, and Kristin Smart's family refused to let her memory fade. They fought for answers, for recognition, for justice. They appeared in interviews, pressed investigators, and demanded that her disappearance stay in the public eye. In 2002, Kristin Smart was legally declared dead. Her body had never been found. The case might have grown cold forever if not for persistent investigators and the emergence of new technology and new voices. A podcast titled Your Own Backyard brought renewed attention to the case, re-examining timelines, witness statements, and overlooked details. The podcast pushed the story back into the national conversation, and suddenly, people who had stayed silent for decades were willing to talk. New witnesses described suspicious behavior from Paul and his father, Ruben Flores. Rumors spread of nighttime digging, disturbed soil, and possible movement of a body. Forensic searches at the Flores property in Arroyo Grande eventually uncovered disturbed earth beneath the deck and traces of human decomposition. It wasn't the smoking gun investigators hoped for, but it was enough. In April 2021, Paul Flores was arrested for the murder of Kristin Smart. His father was charged as an accessory. After 25 years, prosecutors finally believed they had the evidence to move forward. The trial painted a chilling picture. Paul Flores as a predator with a documented history of harassment and alleged assaults. Witnesses described him as the last person with Kristin, the one who insisted on helping her, the one linked to a potential burial site. On October 18, 2022, the jury delivered its verdict. Paul Flores was found guilty of Kristin Smart's murder. After a quarter of a century, her family finally heard the word they had been waiting for: guilty. Ruben Flores was acquitted of helping hide the body, but suspicion remained. And even with the conviction, one heartbreaking question lingers. Where is Kristin? The Smart family still hopes someone will speak up. They plead for closure, for a burial place, for the last missing piece to bring their daughter home. Kristin Smart is gone, but her story continues to echo across time, a reminder of the importance of persistence, advocacy, and never letting a cold case slip away. Thank you for watching Cold Case 5 Minutes. Subscribe and leave your like. Stay curious and remember, every mystery deserves to be remembered.